Let's bring you more on that developing story. In breaking news, the Labour Court dismissing an urgent application to stop SA retrenchments. Trade unions Numsa and the South African Cabin Crew Association had filed the application. SAA's business rescue practitioners decided to cut several routes in order to save money. It says this is the beginning of an accelerated retrenchment process. SAA says while layoffs are inevitable, the company has not flouted any labour laws. Well, after that decision, there's a briefing now currently taking place. And my colleague Heidi Jokos is also there. Let's take you live now to that briefing where the unions, that's Numsa and the Cabin Crew Association, are reacting to the Labour Court's decision.
The Labour Court's decision in this regard. They have in essence taken away the workers' right to be meaningfully engaged and consulted prior to a restructuring taking place. We have proven yesterday that they have told us that there's going to be an accelerated headcount reduction. We have proven that members in Durban, PE, were told that by the 1st of March they will have no more employment. So this is what shocks us on what the judge has ruled on today. We are going to appeal it because we will not stand back and watch our employees being dismissed without proper processes taking place. So we are appealing. The judge is going to be hearing the appeal later today.
This is a second blow for the unions, given the fact that the second application that you put in yesterday was also dismissed. Could you just run us through what that second application entailed?
Well, effectively what that application was, it was a supplementary application where we were providing further evidence as proof that indeed South African Airways did have consultations with workers where they were expressly told that as of the 1st of March they would not have jobs. This happened both at the Cape Town and the Durban station. At the time when we submitted our papers yesterday, we had simply put in our papers that we knew that these meetings had taken place. We found out during the course of the application about a recording of a Durban station manager where this Durban station manager goes into detail of retrenchments taking place. Now this contradicts directly the evidence which was provided by the business rescue practitioners. They told the courts that such a meeting never took place. They say that even though there may have been discussions around the possibility of retrenchments, this was not an actual Section 189A process. We insist that it is and that it's continuing. What for us is completely unacceptable about this decision is that we view it as a travesty of justice, quite frankly. What the Labour Court has done today is to take away workers' rights to have meaningful engagement when retrenchments are taking place. The business rescue practitioners are retrenching workers at SAA. There's a plan that's being implemented. We are simply being told about it. We're not being meaningfully engaged. And at the very last minute, workers will suddenly find themselves jobless through a fake consultation process. So we want to make it very clear that we are deeply disappointed by what's been handed down here. And of course, our attorneys were already preparing to argue for an application for a leave to appeal, because we must appeal this decision. 10,000 families will be affected by this decision. This is not a small thing. This is a battle for survival, and we will do absolutely everything possible to save workers' jobs and ensure that they are not railroaded into a fake Section 189 retrenchment process.
No, I mean, we understand that the woman heard in the Durban recording has filed an affidavit denying that it is indeed her voice. Why do you think this has happened?
We think she's doing this because obviously of pressure from management. She's not the only one. Even in Cape Town, the manager in Cape Town was pretty much told to do the same thing. We were advised by members on the ground that the very next day after she had made those remarks, she tried to withdraw them. So we know there's a concerted effort and a cover-up that's being implemented both by South African Airways management and the business rescue practitioner, which reinforces what we've been saying from the beginning, that they cannot be trusted.
Do you know if there are any other recordings of any other station managers in Durban and PE and elsewhere that have told their workers that they will be dismissed come the 1st of March?
We at this point don't have evidence of other recordings, but we have heard testimony from different employees. Like, for example, in Cape Town, one of our members was at that meeting in Cape Town where the manager expressly stated that retrenchments were on the line. So again, this is evidence of a South African Airways management that will do everything in its power to cover up its corruption, because this is corruption. There's no other word. It's corruption.
And just to add, I mean, they also blatantly denied the fact that they told us in an employee committee meeting that they want an accelerated headcount rationalization. In other words, they wanted to retrench workers without following the process. They told us. And in their papers, they blatantly denied it under oath. So they are acting in extreme bad faith, and hence we are appealing this.
So in the event that your application to appeal this ruling is dismissed, then what next?
Well, we're going to take this application by application. We are going as far as the law will allow us in order to defend our rights. Our rights are being subverted here. The labor law is very clear. I mean, you heard the testimony yesterday where they broke down what the rights are of workers. Even in a business rescue process, the business rescue practitioner has to follow Section 189A of the Labor Relations Act. This is clearly and blatantly and deliberately being avoided. So we are being railroaded through this process, and unfortunately the Labour Court has endorsed this through this decision, and all we can do is to look at our legal options and to fight and take this as far as we can. Thanks, guys.
So just what time can we expect the appeal to?
Mandla.
Where to?
So you said 11, right?
Yes, after 11. Yeah, they're going to argue it today.
I think that's Pindile Gwebo. They're speaking on behalf of the South African Cabin Crew Association. Also, you saw the Pagamile Hlubi Majola speaking on behalf of Numsa, reacting to a decision made just a short while ago, and that's our breaking news story at this hour in the Labour Court, dismissing the application by Numsa and SACA to stop SAA from the ongoing retrenchments that are being undertaken under the guidance of the business rescue practitioners in a bid to save the ailing airliner.